Hello, Stampers. My name is Marilyn Parent, and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in BC. Today I'm going to make a shaker card, and we're going to be using the Nothing But Better Than stamp set and the dies that go with this stamp set. As you can see, it's a beautiful stamp set. It's two-step for most part, and then these are the dies that go with it. So I love the lettering. It's really nice. And then to cut out my shaker card, I'm going to use the die from the classic Koch. I'm not sure if that's how you say it or not, but that's what I'm going to use to cut out my make my shaker card. Okay, so let's get started. I'm going to use take out my bits here. I'm going to start with a card base that's 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4, and I'm going to do a landscape, a layer that is 4 by 5.5. Oops, maybe it's not that. Okay, it's 4 1/4 by 5 1/4. Is that right? Oh, 5 3/8 by 4 1/8, just to give it a small border around it. Okay, so then we're going to go ahead and stamp this with early espresso, and I'm going to use today's plan consume, and then it's going to say cookies. Okay, we'll just put this, hopefully I can get it straight. Okay, and then I'm going to cut out my my shaker card, and I'm just going to mark it off here, approximately here. Okay, I'll be right back. I'm going to use my die to cut it out. And I'm just going to in there about like that. Put some washi tape on it to hold it in place while I cut it out. And my die cutting machine shakes the table, so I'm just going to do it off camera. Okay, I'll be right back. Okay. And I'm going to erase my pencil lines. And then my shaker is going to fit in here like this. Okay? But I'm going to run my, oops, what did I do here? Hopefully I can, there. All right. Then I'm going to run it through the embossing folder, the bricks and mortar embossing folder. And you should run this or die cut out your design first before you run it through, because then you'll flatten down your embossing from this. So we'll run this through the embossing folder. Oops, I don't have the right layers. Okay, so this is our layer, and then like I said, this is going to go in here, but I'm going to just put a little bit of a finish on the bricks, and I'm going to use crumb cake and early espresso, and just some sponge daubers, and just daub on the bricks. Put a little bit of highlighting on the bricks. So just give it a little bit here and there. So how's everybody doing today? Hopefully everybody can see what I'm doing. It's actually quite nice outside. I don't think that it's too cold. The sun's trying to shine. Alright, and then I'm going to close this up so I don't have an accident. And then we'll get out the early espresso, and we're going to do a little bit of that on here as well. There, okay. Okay. All right. So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to make a background for my shaker. So I'm going to put cookies on here. So I'm going to use, once again, early espresso and crumb cake. And I'm going to use early espresso first. And I'm just going to stamp my cookies. Oh, that didn't work. Well, good thing paper has two sides. Let's try this again. That's better. All right, so we're just going to stamp some cookies on here. Let's see. Is that enough? Yeah, I think too many will just make it worse. All right, so then we're going to use the second step. And I've got ink all over my hand. And I'm going to stamp this off. Oops. My tray's obviously got too much stuff in it. All right. So then we're just going to stamp that. Hopefully you can see what I'm doing here. Okay, so that's that for the back of that. And I'm going to take and stamp some more of these that I'm going to die cut out and put on my card. Okay, so we'll just stamp some more of these. I think I want 3, but I'm going to do 4 just in case. And stamp these off again. And hopefully get this on here. There. Okay. So we'll put these away. Now, for my shaker, for the inside of my shaker, I'm going to show you a little trick. You know those little packages you get in, if you buy a new purse, there's a little package of silica in it, and, boots and everything else. I save mine. And what I do is I pour them into a little container. And then I take a little tiny bit of re-inker, and this one's crumb cake, I believe. Oh, soft suede. And just put a tiny drop in there. You don't want very much. Just a drop. That's all you need. Okay? Put the lid on and then give it a good shake. Oh, I think I want just a little bit more. I was a little stingy on my inker. Okay. Put it on. And you can dye this any color you want. And because it's silica, they dry very, very quickly. And you see they're all different colors. Sometimes you even get the desiccant that's different shapes. This one's all seems to be the same size. Anyway, set them aside. And what we're going to do next is, oh, and I've got a piece of, somewhere, a piece of window sheet. And I put a little tag on here so I could find it amongst my desk. So what I'm going to do is pour my shaker beads in here, remove the backing somewhere, and then I'm going to take my window sheet and place it right on top. Okay, and then this just contains my shakers, my beads, and then I'm going to take and put this on here like so. Okay, so we'll take our card base or our layer and put our window sheet on there. Now this is overhanging, so I'm going to cut some of this off. All right. There, see? And my shaker's all contained in there. And then I'm going to take my cookies for my window or my shaker card, and I'm going to place them on here. And I'm going to use a little bit of, I think I'm going to use Scotch tape just to hold it in place. Decide where I'm going to put that. Kind of like that maybe. Yeah. And then I'm just going to use some tape and tape it in place. All right. Put my cookies in there. And another piece of tape. I'm going to cut a little bit off so I can put my tape on here as well. There. Okay. Oops. There, that's better. I'm gonna put a little bit of seal down here. Oh, I know what's wrong. I didn't take the tape off my shaker card. remove the adhesive from here. There. Now it'll stick. A little bit too much, maybe. Oh, come on. There. There we go. That's better. Okay. So that's our card. And then we're going to cut out our cookies that we stamped here. And I'll be right back. I'm going to cut these out. And I've gone ahead and done them ahead. And we're going to place them on here like this. Okay, just kind of tuck them in here. Just like that. And then that'll be attached to our card base. And for the word cookies, I'm going to sponge. I've sponged this with crumb cake. And I've used the brushes. Have you seen Stampin' Up's brushes? I've had some for a while, so I've slowly getting the Stampin' Up ones, but these are beautiful brushes, and they do an excellent job. And they're so soft. They're made of very, very fine hairs, and they're great for sponging. Okay, so I'm going to take crumb cake, and I'm just going to sponge a little bit on here. Okay, and then just to make things a little bit easier, I'm going to take a piece of the adhesive backing. This is old, but we do sell the sheets. They're in the catalog with the adhesives. And remove the backing and attach it. This is very, very sticky. Attach it to my piece of cardstock. And then just press it down. Give it a good burnish. And then I'm going to take the die from here that says cookies. And I'm going to run that through here. Okay? Now, on here, there's a little tiny dot above the, maybe just leave it in there for now. And then I've gone ahead and cut out some chocolate, early espresso that says cookies as well. And I'm going to layer the two of them together. Oops, I lost my dot. I'll put it in my dish. All right, so remove the little bits out of here. And with my pokey tool, I'm going to peel off the backing. I think this is the hardest part about this sticky adhesive. Okay. And then carefully lay that on my early espresso layer to make it look like it's a shadow. There. Okay. Now, there was a... Alright, so then we're going to stick the cookie on here, kind of like this. Consume cookies. I think I'm just going to glue it on. It's not as easy to put on with dimensionals, so I'm just going to glue it straight on. Oops. There. It's got a little bit of a clog in it. It'll come out in a big squirt in a minute. There. Okay. So then we're just... Now, just a little bit. Oh, way too much. Way too much. So I'm going to take a scrap of paper and just move it around on here. Okay. And then I'm going to place that kind of like that. And my little dot is right there. And my chocolate one is right here. There, I've got one already done. Oops, once again, too much. Too much, too much. Okay. Grab my dot for my cookies and just place that right there. Okay, so that's my shaker card. And we're going to put our cookies on. And I'm going to put one straight down. And which one's the better? Oh, this one needs to get tucked in behind. So we'll put it here. And then we'll pop this one up with dimensionals. Okay. And we'll just kind of tuck it down here. There, what do you think? And then we'll layer this on to this layer. Put a bunch of glue on it to keep it in place. Oops. There. Today's plan, consume cookies. And with doing the window sheet, you don't have to worry about them coming out, the shakers coming out. There. So inside we'll just stamp a cookie. And this. And we'll once again stamp it off. Oops, sorry you couldn't see me do that. There. And that's my shaker card. What do you think? Okay, so that's it for today. I'd like to thank you for stopping by, and we'll talk to you later. Bye-bye for now.